Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot in a red state, utilizing tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. The focus of today's reading is going to be some recent developments that have happened in the Abrego Garcia case. Okay, and the reason I am looking specifically into this is because this is one case that I just kind of have always followed, but because of some recent things that the judges said in that case, it could have implications in other cases. And this has to do with the judges about had it with the DOJ on this. And this is specifically the criminal case that I'm talking about. Abrego Garcia's got two cases. One is a criminal and one is the his immigration. So in the criminal case, the judge is about ready to rule that this is vindictive prosecution and is about ready to throw this case out. Now, I have been saying these judges have about had it. And you're going to start seeing more and more judges just start throwing these cases out because that the DOJ brings, especially if this judge rules on vindictive prosecution, that actually is going to be, that's going to be setting a precedent for other cases like against Adam Schiff, Letitia James, Lisa Cook, all this other, politically motivated weaponization of our Department of Justice, and that the lower courts have had it. Okay, and I have been saying, like, I see these lower courts, like these judges are finally kind of like finding that footing, and they're just going to start throwing the cases out. So real quick, I went back and looked at one of the last Abrego Garcia cases I did, readings that I did, and I wanted to bring these three cards had come up together, and it was kind of towards the end of that reading. I'll link it here for you guys at the end. And it was about kind of like the judge, like what was going on. And here is, it came up the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. And I got that this could be, Trump just kind of, leaving, however we want to interpret that. At this point, I think, based on that energy reading I did, I think it's going to be our military removing him. However, when I was specifically asking about the Abrego Garcia, I think that this is like the lies that that the DOJ has been telling. This judge has had it and is going to throw the case out. So what I want to do is a follow-up on that, kind of looking at this. What's funny for the DOJ, something that I've been saying, is that they do not want discovery in any of these cases because they don't have any evidence, and it's all made up and it's flimsy and it's just it's not gonna go anywhere. And so this judge has to have discovery in order to prove or disprove or make the decision on how he's going to rule. Whether he's going to rule that, oh yeah, this is vindictive prosecution and I'm throwing it out. They have no case. So I for one, am going to be very interested in seeing exactly what happens. I don't know that they've set a court date yet on that. I will definitely be watching this one. I'm also going to link, have I shared? I've shared the Michael Popok Legal AF video on the post side for you guys to watch, ahead of time, because he really goes through all of that. I'm not going to recap all of that here. And then I'll link it in the description in case you missed that post. So what I want to do, I want the base reading, like what happens, what is this judge going to do? Is he going to throw it out? And then is this going to be used in other cases to for those judges to use that as precedent to throw these other cases out? And then the immigration case, I do want to touch base on the immigration case. There is an order blocking his deportation, so that's why, and right now he's still in ICE custody, okay, but he can't be deported, at least not legally. I mean, he couldn't be legally deported before, and we saw how that worked out. But right now he cannot, right now, he legally cannot be deported per a judge order. A judge has denied his asylum case, but that was only based on the timing. And so his lawyers are appealing that, saying, well, we're talking about, we're dating this back to March so that they would be within that time span of, needing to do that filing. It was more of a procedural thing. And so they are appealing that decision with more like procedural type stuff to see if he could be granted asylum. And so I do want to look into that real quick on, is he going to be granted asylum? Because, oh man, one, that would really piss off this administration. So I'm all for that. And also, this young man, he just wants to be left, he just wants to live his life, providing for his family. And every time I hear the DOJ or, Lion Caroline Levitt speak about him, it's just like, shut the fuck up. Nobody believes your lying bullshit. So that's how I feel about every time I see Lion Caroline on the TV. Anyway, so with all of that being said, I'm going to be looking into, the base reading of what happens. And as I said, yes, this is about Abrego Garcia, but there's other there's implications for this, for, other cases. So that's one reason I really did want to do this reading. So as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. Looking into this judge who has about had it with the DOJ and is going to be doing the discovery portion of this to decide whether or not they rule if this is a vindictive prosecution. So, what is going to happen in this base reading of what is this judge going to do? What is this judge going to decide in this? So, okay, and with what's going to happen with that, this judge is not happy. This is the toxicity that our DOJ has brought. And you notice it's like what I'm feeling for this is like, if this was the truth is just out of reach, because that's not what they're bringing to the table, okay, at all. Just toxicity and lies. That's what they bring to the table. The challenge is, what's your evidence? And that's coming up in the challenge position. Okay, well, this is how well this is going to go for the DOJ. And then coming in, fool. Besides the, of course, Mr. T, I pity the fool. But the fool, the judge has had it. The judge is like, I'm getting this feeling of, like, you guys, he doesn't quite say I don't know. I mean, if he doesn't say you're idiots, he's using some legalese for, what that would be, but everybody knows exactly what he means. Like, go back to law school type thing. This could also be like new beginnings for Abrego Garcia. Let me keep going just to kind of see which definition. But I was asking, this kind of came up as the DOJ, and I don't think this judge is not having any more of the DOJ's tactics at all. The message, fiery message, is the base of this. Yeah, it's all, the judge is seeing through this, and he's seeing it like it's nothing but a damn propaganda, thing. It's just all for propaganda. There's no truth to this. And I'm going to say, release the Epstein files. I will probably have that in every reading from here on out. It's like, okay, I know I'm reading about Abrego Garcia. Release the Epstein files. This is also going to be like, he just wants to live his life with his family. That's all he wants to do. And the disappointment, new beginnings, disappointment, the lies that are being told. Let me do, let's see here. What do I want to do cards on? Let me do cards on these two right here. The Fool card and the Five of Cups. What do we need to know about that? This is one of disappointment, but there's still hope. And so that very much is what we're looking at with Abrego Garcia, is the disappointment that he's even being detained by ICE, and then the hope, and then there's the two cups. One is the criminal case, and one is the immigration case. And what is his new beginning looking like? let me put, what do we need to know about those cards? Is the judge, and like he's seeing this abuse of power, and oh yeah, he the sword of truth falls. There's a rebirth. There is a, I think this case gets thrown out. He sees what Trump is doing. He sees that this is he is judging Trump for the MAGA views. The Six of Cups I usually get as MAGA views. It's a the Six of Cups is just a card of nostalgia, and yet MAGA and Trump is nostalgia for like a world that didn't exist except for like in their minds. And remember, Trump is making decisions from a part of his brain that he should not be making any decisions. I mean, like at all. Like I don't even think he should be deciding what he wants for lunch, much less what he's doing, what, you know, for our country. I'm curious about the Lovers card. What is more about the Lovers card here? What do we need to know about this as it relates to Abrego Garcia? I'm seeing kind of like what I'm seeing here is like she's holding the moon, he's holding the sun, like a balance between the sun. It like shines and shines a light into the lies that are being told. Yeah, like they don't have a case. Remember, Page of Swords, this is someone you don't want to go into battle with. They don't have a case. They're trying these tactics in both the immigration case and the criminal case, and or they're doing this vindictive prosecution in other places. It's being used elsewhere and not successfully. I was just getting ready to say, and they're not doing it very successfully. It brings it like this judge is bringing an end to this. Okay. Well, that was a short, sweet little base reading. I'm going to keep going. But yeah, this judge has had it, and he is definitely going to be throwing this case out. He's going to find for the vindictive prosecution. He's absolutely going to find that and throw this case out. But in the meantime, we'll get to see all of the lies that the DOJ has filed as evidence against Abrego Garcia. And I said this, you know, in a previous reading that when it comes to this DOJ, they have no problems fabricating evidence, and that should be terrifying. Okay, it really should, because that should just be terrifying on so many levels. But that the judges are seeing through this, and they're just not gonna allow this at all. So I'm trying to think, where do I want to go? I think I want to stay with. I want to look at the immigration for Abrego Garcia, and then I will come back and ask, is this going to be used with the other people too, the vindictive prosecution? So right now I'm just going to stick here real quick with Abrego Garcia. Just what is going to be decided in his asylum. Will he get asylum? Let me just ask, will he be granted asylum on his appeal? Okay, and as far as being granted asylum, reaping the rewards of what you've sown, the wealthy woman, and this, one of the judges is a female, is a woman judge. I think it's Judge Zenas. Is she the one that put in the order? I can't keep all the judges straight, but there is a female judge, or, you know, definitely like making this decision of the lies, like cutting through the lies. What I'm seeing here is bring the evidence, and then this toxicity. Like I'm seeing this sword kind of like break through these chains. The fiery message, the new messaging, and the world card. Is he going to be granted asylum? Looking at this, I'm going to say yes, he is. But let me, because it's like, you know, the message is, for him is, yeah, you get, like, you've achieved what it is you want to achieve. So is he going to be granted asylum? He's waited everything, and he's definitely experienced the Tower card, and then the happy messages afterwards, everything that he has endured. The Magician, I think so. Yeah, I think that he will eventually be granted asylum. I also get this with this Tower card. This is either what he's endured, what he's been through. I mean, it absolutely is all of that. The other thing is that the Tower card, all roads lead to the Tower card, and so many of these cases I've seen just kind of fall away just because of like this administration is no more. And so I wonder if this isn't one of those things, like one of those cases that so yes, he's going to be granted asylum eventually. It's gonna be it comes also probably after this administration is no more. That's what I'm gonna say with that. So I hope that if anything, I hope I'm wrong in that. I hope he gets granted asylum a lot sooner than that. That or the soon is really just right around the corner, and that we're all going to be, you know, free from this administration. So this vindictive prosecution, I do want to come back to that. I'm going to circle back around to that and ask, is this going to be used in these other cases? Let me just do a base reading, and then I may look like specifically in this. Is this vindictive prosecution going to be used to throw these other cases out? There it is. Okay. Is this going to be used to throw out the other cases? Okay. Yet to be seen, to be determined. But the moon card, I think that the judges are seeing, like what I'm feeling from this is like the lies, like everything that's being presented isn't as it seems. Okay, that's what I like. The truth is not what they're presenting as truth is not the truth. And the challenge is, what is the truth? What narrative are they creating? What narrative are they spinning? And like I'm getting like sifting through all that to get to the truth. The Magician is one of, you have everything you need to start a new journey. Okay, this card is one. It comes right after the Fool card, and it's one of, you have everything you need at your disposal. So the DOJ, with everything that they have at their disposal, the best they can come up with is lies. That's it. That's what you got. Okay, these judges are not having it either, and they more lies. The lies that are being told. This is all more about the DOJ. I have seen this kind of more as access or excess, like too much. Like they're celebrating for what reasons? Like they're just. It's almost like the time for turning the kids loose in the candy shop has come to an end. That's kind of what I'm feeling with this. Like they're not going to be allowed to just run rampant all over our Constitution. These lower court judges are going to start throwing these cases out, and then that way they can never make it to the Supreme Court. So it isn't just this is the way they're just throwing the cases out. And working, we can't see the whole picture, the working, the evidence. It's almost like they're manufacturing evidence. That's what I'm seeing. Hold on just one second. Max. Little Maxwell. Okay. I have 3 tabbies, and Max is the third tabby that I don't know that you guys have seen Max on camera. And he is on the counter right now where he's not supposed to be. And he's found something to kind of bat around. Maybe he's going to move, and he's not listening, obviously. So yeah, this is the manufacturing evidence, and they're just as happy and pleased with what they. Okay, now I really hold on just one second. I'll be back. Okay, here is the little monkey. I'm gonna bring him in here real quick so you can see little Maxwell. He was on the counter, and he decided he was gonna save me from a roll of paper towels, which we just opened, and I didn't want him to destroy an entire new roll of paper towels, because he will absolutely do that. So there's my little Max. Okay, get him to go over there. Okay. I thought if I have to pause this because of a cat, you should at least get to see the cat. And The only problem is Schrodinger is still right here next to me, and these two do not get along at all. So hopefully, if you hear screaming, cat screaming, which he's, yeah, buddy, mistakes were almost made. He almost jumped on Schrodinger. I'm trying to get him distracted. Okay, let's get back to this. About the judges have about had it. So yeah, the evidence that's been manufactured, the judges are not having it, and the judges are like looking at this going, you think that I'm going to accept this crap? No. And if you look at the filings, I mean, they are just getting reamed over I mean, they can't even do the filings right. And so, yeah, I think the judges are looking at this, pile of crap that is being offered, and they're like, oh, the DOJ is about ready to get hit with a big truth. And the truth is stop presenting this, evidence, so-called evidence. It's nothing but lies and slop, and the courts aren't going to have it. But it's like, stop wasting our time. That's the big message that I'm feeling with this. So however they word that, and I'm actually feeling like some of these judges may actually even say, you are wasting the court's time, and they are not happy about it. Alrighty, so yeah, that's how all that's gonna go. And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I really think that all of those cases I got, like, they don't have a case, and so they're all just going to be thrown out. Well, now we kind of know more why and how that's going to be. This vindictive prosecution. Definitely expect more from that. The other thing, where am I at on time? Okay, real quick. There was an article, and it was this is from Politico. Trump officials can't keep their mouths shut about DOJ's biggest prosecutions, putting the cases in jeopardy. So first, they're making up shit. They're bringing these sham, charges, and then they can't keep their damn mouths shut about it, which is another way that these cases are like, we can't try this case because you can't shut up about it. So I want to know if that's going to be... So the vindictive prosecution is definitely going to be a thing that's brought up. And then this thing about, are they going to put their own cases? This is I want to follow up on this article. I want to know, is this like, this article was wondering, was saying, well, they're putting these cases in jeopardy. I want to look at, are the cases going to get thrown out because of this? I just kind of want to take it that one step further of, so is that actually what's going to happen? Okay, Trump officials can't keep their mouths shut. Are the judges going to start throwing cases out based on that? Oh, wouldn't that be rich? It's like they've tainted the jury pool. They can't even have, like, actual evidence. They have to make shit up. So, are these cases going to get thrown out because of this also? And with that, people uprising, the judgment card, this administration is absolutely going to be standing in judgment. And the challenge is the hanged man. The challenge is, let me keep going because, one, these are both major arcana cards here in the center. So I want to make sure, the heart and center of this is being judged. I'm almost feeling like you're wasting the court's time. That's what I'm feeling with this. The message coming in, karma's a bitch. Planting seeds for the future, but it's like, what evidence? Like, you can't even bring evidence. Like, the courts, are like, what I'm feeling with this is there's a normal progression with a court case, and what the DOJ is doing is not normal in any sense of the word, and that these judges are just, I mean, I don't know how many ways I could say the judges have had it, and we're seeing it. And the message of the lies, and stop the lies. Stop creating a version of the truth. They are manufacturing evidence to fit their narrative, and they're telling that narrative to the world, and the judges are going to be like, stop it. You've got to stop this. And I don't even know if they're going to even be giving warnings. I'm just seeing, like, so are they going to start throwing these cases out? going forward, the toxic, like these cases can't go forward because of the lies and because of the toxicity, because of the tainting of the jury pools, and it's become a burden. I don't know that this is going to be the only, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'll be the only reason. I think that vindictive prosecution is going to be the main thing. And what I'm seeing is because they can't keep their damn mouths shut, that it's, in fact, I think that original case, did they even I think the judge even cited something that he either, shit out there on Trash Social or said on faux news, or I mean, it was something that the judge was like, you can't even, it's obvious because this is what you said. And so what they're saying, because they can't keep their damn mouths shut, that is going to be what's being used to support the judge's claim and ruling on vindictive prosecution. Okay, so yes, they are going to be using that, and it's based on this Politico article, which is they can't keep their mouths shut. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will put, I have linked that Legal AF. It was on the post side of YouTube. I'll link it in this also. If you care to watch it, Michael Popok does an excellent job going through all of the legal stuff on that. And yeah, and then I'll probably put that the last Abrego Garcia reading that I did. It's been, I want to say like 2 months ago at least. So I'll put that there for you guys to see. So I really appreciate you being here with me. Like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a great day.